Hi there, and welcome to Little Builders at Creative Maple Woodworks. We have 3 incredibly active and spirited kiddos that we lovingly call our Little Builders. Our Little Builders love to create, draw, and make things. So far on this channel, we have created some really cool things. Things like sculptures and toolboxes, but we really have not done anything for my youngest child yet. He loves anything with wheels. So today, we're going to create some little cars, specifically for his little hands. Each car has big chunky wheels, a wide and stable body, and he can grab the body of it easily. To build these cars, we use only a few tools and a few materials. The car has 3 primary pieces: the body, the wheels, and the axles. As usual, we start with letting the kids play with each of the pieces and try to figure it out on their own. As you can see, sometimes they get it and sometimes they don't. After the Little Builders have had some time to experiment and begin thinking about how they're going to put it together, we get started. And we start by attaching one wheel on the end of an axle. The wheels are held on by friction, so no glue is needed for this project. It is helpful to have a mallet or a small hammer for this step. We are using a mallet that I made for our Little Builder project kits. A little guidance and hands-on help is necessary to keep the axle centered. We used a protected surface and then drove the axles into the wheel. We made sure that the axle came through the wheel and was flush with the hub of the wheel on the other side. Next, we put the axle through the pre-drilled hole on the body. Then, we turned the car over so the wheels were down. I pushed the other wheels onto the end of the axles just enough so the Little Builders can drive them on themselves. I put an old gift card under the wheel to allow for some space between the body and the wheel. If the wheel is too tight against the body, the wheels won't turn. Of course, after the car was completed, the Little Builders opted for a splash of paint.
Can you tell me what color you're painting your car?
Paint in all different kind of colors.
Yeah.
There's always that one little builder who wants to taste the paint. We are careful to use non-toxic paint for this little one. After they have finished painting, place the cars on a paper towel and roll them back and forth a few times every 10 minutes or so. Do this for about an hour so that the wheels do not become stuck due to paint drying on them. When the paint is dry, you may opt to put a clear coat on them or just let them play. Oh my! What is that? We had a lot of fun with this project. The kids seemed to really enjoy putting the cars together, painting them, and then of course, they really loved playing with them. Stick around if you want to see how these simple but fun cars are made. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. We make content for creative kids, creative parents, and creative woodworkers. If you fit one of those categories, you need to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications each time we upload new content. This project can be done with the tools that most people have in their toolbox or in their garage. Throughout the process, I will share alternate tools and methods for accomplishing each step. You will need the following materials for this project: a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, a 1/4 inch dowel rod, 4 1.5 inch wheels with a 1/4 inch hole. You will need the following tools: a saw, this can be a hand saw, a bandsaw, or a jigsaw, a drill with a 5/16 inch drill bit, sandpaper, and a hammer or a mallet. I start by laying out the shape. In this case, I opted for half of an ellipse. You can get as simple or as fancy as you want with this shape. I wanted this car to have the same front and back end shape, so my Little Builders could concentrate on the function of the car without being distracted by the shape. I then cut the shape out on the bandsaw. You could also use a jigsaw with a fine-tooth blade. Here's a little helpful tip though. If you're using a handsaw, make the body with straight sides rather than curved sides. Curved cuts are very difficult with a handsaw. Once you have cut out the shape, you'll need to do a little sanding, and then drill the holes for the wheels. Before you drill, use one of the wheels to eyeball the position on the body, and then use that position to determine where the second hole will be drilled. I use a drill press for my holes, but you can use a hand drill as long as you keep the drill bit plumb. Use a piece of scrap wood under your workpiece to avoid tear out when the drill bit breaks through the other side. Another little note, this project is not difficult and will be a great teaching project for older kids being introduced to the drill or a saw. However, remember, never leave a young builder unsupervised. Once the body is shaped and the holes are drilled, it's time to cut the axles to length. Eyeball the length of the axle using the 2 wheels, body, and a spacer to ensure the wheels have room to move next to the body once assembled. It is better to have slightly longer axles than a really short axle. Now that the axles are cut, I use sandpaper to put a slight taper on the end so the kids can push the tip of the axle into the wheel and finish driving it with the mallet. Just a quick once-over for any potential splinters, and these cars are ready for the races. If you are an intermediate or advanced woodworker who has access to additional tools, you may want to create a pattern and then use a flush cut bit on your router table. I love the spiral compression bit from Bits and Bits. If you are interested in my experience with this type of bit, please let me know in the comments below this video. I also like to use the router to round over the edges of the piece. You can use a piece of sandpaper to break the edge, but I really like the look that a round over bit gives to a piece. If you are intending to make a large number of any one item, the best option is to create a jig that will give you identical cuts and identical holes. I used a jig on this project so each of the cars has the exact same shape and all the holes line up perfectly. However, if you are just making one or two, it can be fun to experiment with different shapes and sizes of cars. Hey, thanks so much for watching. From our creative maple family to yours, stay safe in the shop. If you are interested in this project or any of the other projects that I mentioned in this video, please check out creativemaple.com and our Etsy store. The link is below in the description.